back to Let's Play Higurashi fucking Kasai. So, well, I doubt anyone's even wondering at all, really, because nobody's watching this yet, really. Like, for example, where is it? Well, you can't see it on the side there, but this part's got 1 view, 3 views, 7 views. So I imagine since the break between question arcs to answer arcs, maybe the usual viewers aren't here yet. I don't know. I don't even know who the usual viewers are, because nobody comments, so I don't know. But, regardless, yesterday, as I'm recording this, I did not upload, and the reason for it was a hellish day. A hellish day of lying in bed, trying to sleep. It's like, what? Well, here's the thing, right? I freaking felt like I was up for 2 freaking days with minimum to little sleep at all. And it was driving me nuts just lying in there trying to freaking sleep. I mean, have you ever had that situation where you're lying in bed trying to sleep? You turn on your side, 5 minutes later you turn on your own side, 5 minutes later you turn back to that side, and you get a random itch and it's like, then you readjust your position and turn again, and it's like, it keeps going back and forth, you keep looking at the time and you're like, ah! And I eventually did get to sleep, but it sucked, because it was a freaking vivid nightmare type shit, and I woke up with sleep paralysis. It was awful. And I still don't even know how much sleep I even got out of that. Anyways, to the bloody shittiest word of the day. How about a word that would fit my annoyance here? No, actually, if we put that instead. Headache. I think we've done this one before, actually, for headaches. What was it? Zutsugasuru. Well, my headache's gone. Sutsuka haorimashita. Well, mine isn't. That's for sure. Let's have another word just thrown in there. How about Boshi hats, just for the helmets. Anyways, where we left off in the thrilling conclusion to the previous part, let's continue. No, about what? Oh, right. You went to the school before it happened. That's why you don't know. Uncle Oyashiro grimaced as if he said too much. As though he'd mentioned something I should know, but... What is it? You can't leave me hanging like that. Well, I think you're mature now. If you think my body looks undeveloped, you should see my eye doctor. Either that or you're a pedo. Okay, I'll talk. It happened again the year after that. What was with that conversation there? What happened? What are you talking about? Tick. That's what he's talking about. When I was very little, I always had this tick before I heard something bad. It was like a gnome who lived inside me was giving me a warning. Like he was poking me with a small needle. When I felt this tick before my parents called me, they'd always either chide me or tell me something bad. So I used to run away when I felt it. But my senses seem to have grown dull over the years. Even though my gnome poked at me, I just sat there. Okay, that must have been him then. It happened again the year after the death of the Hojos, last year in onwards. Did it happen on the day of Watanagashi? Again? 3 years in a row? That's right, you know, there's a shrine in Inamizawa, the Furude shrine. The priest suddenly died on the night of the festival. They said that the cause of death was an unknown illness. And the same night his wife threw herself into the swamp. There was a big uproar. The mayor even had to hold an emergency meeting. Ominous music. Higurashi. When they cry. I never get to read it freaking fast enough. I have to say in Higurashi when they cry to see what. I forget the full title in Japanese. Well, there's usually the kanji character as well, so, you know, throws me off even more. Okay, maybe that's him again. I don't think the bit about the illness. Wait, no, actually, this could. This is the thing when a scene starts up, you don't know what to expect at first. Yeah. Of course you do it like that. Fuck it, I'll just assume it's Mion. I'm gonna assume that she's like trying to verify it over the phone, maybe. I don't think the bit about the illness is true, but his death was very sudden. The priest was busy preparing for the festival and he'd gotten sick around that time, so I guess he died of a heart attack or something. Or maybe it is still the same freaking scene, I don't know, because transition usually means transition into another scene. But it's just crazy that somebody died on the day with Higurashi again. It's the third time in a row. My head aches so much about it, do not realize. It's unbelievable that so many people have died on the exact same day. The coroner didn't find anything unusual about the cause of death, so nobody suspected that anything was wrong. But we don't know who's speaking! God damn you and your lack of character portraits. You're freaking trying to take after Himatsubushi, god damn you! But you're right that the whole situation is abnormal. Only the people who were likely to be cursed died on the day of the festival, and I don't know who the fuck's talking anymore. There must be something behind this. Whether it's a conspiracy or a curse, there has to be. Okay. Oh wait. Okay, she is meeting up with her, but I have no idea if she's already met up with her or not. That might have been what I assumed was them talking over the phone there, so maybe I got that right. I decided to meet up with Mion at the library near the Optima train station. It's not that I don't trust Mion, but I don't want to let her know where I live. Not many people use this library, so I went inside and you won't find my zero here. It's very convenient for meeting someone in secret. After we discuss my life plan and work schedule and move to small talk, I've been away from this town for years. Things have changed. I asked Mion about those changes in detail in order to fill in the gaps. While talking about various things, I brought out what Uncle Oyashiro had told me about Oyashiro-Sama's curse. Even before I left town, the curse had already struck twice. The dismemberment made on the first year left quite an impact. And the year after, well, the pro-time activist couple fell off the cliff. On the day the villagers were enjoying their first Higurashi festival trip since the damn project was indefinitely frozen. This one also left quite the impact. The evil construction site manager was punished, and the next year the traitor to the village met the same fate. And we have ominous chanting. If it had happened only once, people would have concluded that it was just a bizarre coincidence. But when it happened 2 years in a row, people were far more likely to believe it was a curse. I know up to that point, after I left town, the curse struck again for the third time. People talked about the curse more intensely than ever, both in enemy sound or clear. I have to rethink this. Oyashiro-Sama's curse drastically gained credibility while I was away. It was still unclear with the first two incidents. But after it continued for 3 years straight, people's doubts changed to convictions. Even though the priest who died in the third year was an enemy of the villagers, the fact that people of his side didn't care very much added even more credibility to the idea. Finally, someone appearing on screen! Wasn't the priest hated by a few, especially by the committee members? Yeah, they criticized him for being a fence sitter. Towards the end of the dam conflict, protesters were all taking aggressive stances, so they didn't like how soft he was being. And now we return to our background photographs instead of characters, portraits. The priest had looked strict and scary. The way he spoke was always so fucking formal-like, but in reality he was very warm and reserved. Maybe it was because he was a son-in-law, having married into his family. I'm sure the priest and his personality were the perfect fit for managing the shrine that was used for summer festivals and village meetings. But that gathering SWAT-style atmosphere of the shrine changed completely when the damn war broke out and it became the headquarters for the Oyashiro Guardians, all the Oyashiro Defense Alliance. Prior to the damn protests, hardly anyone worshipped Oyashiro-Sama. Of course, the devout elders paid worship to him. But the average person treated that guy like how you treat fortune-telling. Once the damn protest began, Oyashiro-Sama was suddenly hauled down as a symbol of the village's resistance, tracing the Oyashiro-Sama faith back to its roots. It was an exclusive, elitist faith that believed its members were descended from a holy ancestor, different from the masses at the foot of the mountain, and that those tainted masses should never come near the village. Of course, such self-centered ideology wasn't acceptable anymore in peaceful post-war Japan. That kind of gives the indication it was acceptable at some point in time, but not now. Well, when you think about it, it's pretty much majority of the world has been like that at one point or another throughout history. Where it's just like, oh yeah, that type of attitude was acceptable for some reason. Heck, pretty much would still be the case in, like, with some people, I suppose. Just like, no, we are the superior ones because of our stuff. And he'd be like, how? Reasons. Of course, that's about it. Yeah, I read that. So this doctrine was abandoned over time. Still, that idea remained, and it trudged to back up to fan the flames of nationalism and united stand against the damn project. With the revival of these ideas, things only grew more radical by the day. And it didn't take very long, but they only got Guardians to become aggressive. After that, we were in a state of war. 100 million burning as one, kill the white savages, want not but victory. That one kind of came out of nowhere, didn't it? What point in history was this? Adults and kids both gnawing at the bit of it to repel the foreign invaders. Describing it like that makes it sound kind of awful, like a reminder of the dark times of wartime Japan. Well, I suppose that would have been wartime Japan, I suppose. But like I said before, for us kids it felt less like a war and more like a village-wide festival. Yet despite calling the festival, the sailors were treated girly. Their heartlessness lived up to the expression wartime regime. The whole couple voiced their acceptance of the damn project in the midst of that atmosphere were truly brave. Wait, was this all during the damn project? Did they actually say shit like that? What are foreigners gotta do with it? Then on the second year, the curse they died in an accident. Unless the minister happens to be foreign, I don't know. And everyone believed it was Oyashiro-Sama's death without question. So they were branded traitors and enemies of the village. Here's a cup of ice worse than, ice worse than just being ostracized as traitors. Every day in the cold shoulder and tuck behind their backs. You know, you may be wondering why I'm freaking talking in such a kind of stupid way throughout all this. And the reason for it is, I have no motivation at the moment, but I'm recording anyway. Just like, I've got no energy. As I said, I've barely had any sleep over the past few days. I'm just like, to me, I just want to have a shower and then go to sleep. But if I do that, I'll be missing out on another upload on my main channel. It's just like, and I got college tomorrow as well, so it's just like, So I have about as much motivation as a tortoise. I assume tortoises don't have as much motivation, but then again, I'm just thinking that because they're very slow moving, but that's because their body is like, I forget what it is. But it's also the reason why they live so long as well. Anyways, ever engaged in the culture and talk behind the backs. The only person entering the belly was the priest. While the priest never objected to the anti-damn movement, he also never objected to the Hoja couple's advocacy for accepting the government's eviction and the restitution to rebuild new lives. Those unforgivable Hojos becoming mistaken as the free families, especially Sonozakis, united the village by turning them into scapegoats. So they must have had it very shameful to have a fellow member of the Free Families approve of that, especially where was the priest in the shrine that had become a symbol for the damn protests. So they kind of, it was like, throwing him in with the lions or some shit. They were like, well, none of that shit. We hate you now. As central figures and enemies of the Free Families were the backbones of the Arctic future guardians or Arctic future defense lines, so a difference of opinion was undesirable. And the priest was never accused of anything but giving me a headache, but secretly people whispered that he was a heretic, that he was unfit to serve as Oyashiro-Sama's priest, and Oyashiro-Sama's curse would soon strike him down, along with other rumors. Sounds awfully suspicious when you wear like that, isn't it? It's just like, oh, the curse will have you, priest, because you're a traitor, and what do you know? He ended up being a victim of the curse. Suspicious? Don't you think the priest was more mature than those around him? He was pretty cool, managing to keep his head and remain neutral while everyone around him grew fervent. I thought Mion would share my opinion when I chimed back in. So when Mion gave me a forced smile and didn't agree with me, I was taken by surprise. If he were really mature, I think he would have cooperated with the others. He should have appeased them. He wasn't just the head priest, he was also the head of the Furude family. That was a time when all of Hinamizawa needed to be united, so having one of the families who are supposed to serve as examples to disturb the harmony was, I don't know if that should be called mature. It's hard for me to tell. What's that? Does that have anything to do with maturity, Mion? He just happened to think, you know what? These people are like, they don't want this or whatever. Who am I to stop them? It's like, you're supposed to be forceful and one-sided, you prick! Who's the mature one in that situation? I was taken aback. I barely managed to say the following. Even though we're identical twins, we still had our own unique identities. Yes, as I stated before, they may be twins, but they have their differences. Every now and then our opinions differed, but usually only over trivial matter. We've never had a difference of opinions this big. It wasn't an enjoyable feeling. I decided to probe her some more. I don't really like the word you used, appease. What are you trying to say? Are you saying the priest should have thought of the villagers as a whole and kept his opinions a secret? Meaning people shouldn't assert their self before the whole? I'm not going that far. It's just, I thought that as a member of the Free Families, you should have acted more carefully. That's what I mean. Mion faltered a bit as my tone grew more like a cross-examination. I realized I was speaking a bit too harshly. What Mion expressed was probably the more mature opinion on our scale. When everyone needs to work together to stand up to a vast enemy like the government, people should refrain from actions that would destabilize their heights. Well, I'm not sure if it counts as maturity, but I suppose it counts as the wiser choice coming from Mion. It's like if you're just gonna like break that harmony by just being like, you know what? Why are we just like hounding after these people just because they have a different opinion? It's like, shut up and join us! Just like, okay, just go. It's, I don't know. Writing it out and reading it now, I can understand that. But I wasn't mature enough to agree to such a totalitarian idea. Totalitarian idea. Or maybe it wasn't me at all. Or maybe, just maybe, she isn't as influenced on it because she didn't grow up completely in Enemy's Hour after all. It was Mion who'd made that mature judgment. We'd been separated for over a year. I've been away from the town. In the meantime, Mion has been trained to take over the headship of the Sonozaki family. She'd been treated as such even before I was confined to that institution. She sat next to the hag in ceremonies and in meetings. She took her place when the hag was absent. I like how she keeps referring to her as hag. It's like, oh yeah, she would sit next to the hag and listen in on the ceremonies with the hag and hag this and hag a hag. So I wonder what's, I have no idea. Gotta look for ones that look identical. I don't see any identical ones, and again, it's kind of hard to tell. Isn't that the demon one? I think it is. Oh, it's there as well. How about that? But that was just it. We never thought we were never that different. May all does become big like a successor since I've been gone. Since I've been gone and all that. My nephew is outside my room. Well, more of he's in the hallway, but that counts as outside my room. That's a thing with my nephew. He knows of my recordings. In that, when I'm recording, it's like, apparently on a few times, he'll just be like, listening in. So gotta tune down on the language when he's around. You sound like a grown-up now. She seemed to get what I was implying. I think like Granny now. That's good, you're the successor. You shouldn't think like the rest. You definitely learned the art of ruling. I never learned anything like that. I'm just trying to act like her. You can do it easily too. I don't want to. It's your role. Well, don't try too hard or you'll tire yourself out. I didn't mean to be cold, but Mion seemed to take it that way. She smiled as if trying to pacify me. I smiled gently back at her. Mion. What is it? Our separation has always been tough. Our names are places where we live and our bodies. Mion looked down with a serious face, but then looked right back up. Maybe you think I'm jealous of that, but I'm not. We used to have some disagreements, but they're always small and forgettable. You don't have to feel sorry for anything. Up until birth, we were perfectly equal. Right after birth, we were separated by the grown-ups' priorities. I used to get mad about it when I was little. There's no denying that. But we don't have to start a disagreement over it. Mion seemed to understand what I'm trying to say. We each have our own characteristics, even though we're identical twins. Only we know the differences. We're also dependent on each other because of them. Mion seems more dependent. She always worries about me. If somebody gave her a cookie, she'd divide it in two and give one half to me. If somebody gave her a candy, she'd wait until I said it was okay to eat it. On the contrary, I'm cold. I don't care about others if I'm satisfied. I'd put the candy in my mouth right away. I have to emphasize that I don't hate her, and I'm well aware that she loves me. We both know that. Mion must have been hesitating to put the candy of the successor in her mouth and was waiting to see if I was okay with that. Do your best, Mion. I'll do my best as Shion too. I tapped her forehead, lightly with my fist lightly. That is lightly. Ow! Why did you do that for? Mion put her forehead against my fist as if trying to feel the warmth. She's Mion, and I'm Shion, and I'm Blue Skull Dragon VN. She's the successor of the Sonozaki family, and I'm just a vagabond. And this is nice music. That isn't a distinction, but rather our individuality. We shouldn't worry too much about the other anymore. We should feel relaxed living as who we are with our own characteristics. I didn't have to say any of that out loud. We can communicate by touch, just like this. Okay, thanks, Shion. No worries, Mion. Let's talk to each other whenever we want to. Like we've always been. I'll never change, okay? Okay. Mion kept nodding with her forehead against my fist. And scene transition. I said goodbye to Mion before it turned to evening. We had talked about the things that happened during a time away, and I enjoyed having that chat between sisters very much. We were able to resolve our unsettled emotions. We didn't used to do that. Maybe it's because we hadn't seen each other for over a year. That type of singing voice is the sitting on the toilet type of singing act. Phew. It was late afternoon. My heart felt lighter now. I stretched and looked up at the sky. The sky was clear, blue, and far away. No matter how tall I grew, I'll never be able to touch that sky. Wow. Even if you were, you wouldn't be able to. I mean, the sky is... I don't even know how to describe what the sky exactly is. I'm Shion Sonozaki. It'd be like the equivalent saying, oh, touch a cloud. You can't touch a cloud. You just go through it. A girl who escaped from the life she was forced to live. Nobody will praise me for what I did and for what I'm going to do. But this is what I chose. I can think maturely too. I psyched myself up. I should go shopping for dinner. Though I have Kasai's help, I need to save money. I love junk food, but it'd be cheaper to cook. How can she be sure? She probably hasn't had junk food in quite some time. Ironically, the culinary classes from that evil school will come in handy. Why not go to the shopping district in Kamishiki? If I'm going there, then I need to take the other street. A cool breeze in the late afternoon felt nice on my skin. Kasai came to the door while I was putting stuff I bought into a fridge. Ah, wait a sec, I'm coming. You go grocery shopping. You must be tired. I don't know if I also had the same line, previous one, probably. I don't get tired from grocery shopping. Oh, do you want dinner? I bought enough for you too. Is that alright? If you say so, I'd be happy to. Kasai looked curious about what I'd cook. You don't look like you believe in my cooking skills. You'll pay for that later. Are you putting these in the refrigerator? I'll do it. Oh, thanks. Is this amount of rice enough for two? Here I go. Kasai skillfully packed food in the fridge while glancing at each item in turn. He noticed something. Shion-san, do you still hate canned food? I hadn't bought any. That was, of course, on purpose. It must be hard to avoid it. I know it's illogical. Maybe I could eat it if somebody forced me to. No, on second thought, I definitely couldn't. I feel really sorry. I know I was out of line then. Please forget about that story. Shut up. Where's I and all that? And you shouldn't hang around in the kitchen. Go watch TV or something. What, did you just be conforming to those sexist roles? Kasai chuckled and left. I know this sounds stupid, but I hate canned food. Somebody told me, well, there was canned food in the meal I just ate, I'd throw up. And there's a reason for that. Is she actually going to go into detail about that, though? I don't know. It started with a cellophane. Kasai told me a horror story when I was little. A horror story that we have heard before, I imagine. You know, one of those urban legends about meat made from unknown source. Like those rumors about how there's worm meat mixed into burger patties or dog meat in beef bowls. Thanks, Shion. Thanks for that mental image. Good thing I don't eat burgers much. Kasai had fun telling me one of those stories because of how scared I got. He had fun, but I obviously didn't. I even started to cry in the canned food section of a supermarket. That's how much I hated it. I don't freak out like that anymore. So was it the story of Hinibizawa's origins that he told her? Or did he make up a different story? Or did he base it on it? Who knows? I don't freak out like that anymore, but I still don't like canned food. Since I don't like it, I don't force myself, and I now live my life naturally avoiding canned food. Well, a lot of food comes in a can, so it'd be kind of different from, say, for example, I'm not really fond of mayonnaise in the slightest way. Even though I probably can't even remember a time I even had mayonnaise. I just look at it and I'm just like, nah. So if you like made contact with my food, I just like, nah. One of the big differences between us twins is that Mion doesn't have this issue. Kasai feels responsible for this, but he can't rid me of that fear. Still, a flaw like this is actually a good thing, otherwise it'd be too perfect. I'd be too perfect, whatever. Ha 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 ha. Kasai, set the table, would you? It smells good. Thank you for doing this. If this isn't enough food, you can go to a beef bowl place later or something. And don't turn off the TV. I hate having dinner in silence. Thank you for the meal. What was it? Itadakimasu. Yes, that's the word. So, what is it, Kasai? You came here for something, didn't you? What did he come here for? I can't remember, actually. So, we will find out in the next part. Because, you know, I can't record 2 parts in one sitting half time because the chapter, the charger just doesn't remain charged long enough for that. So I'll see. Shall see you next time, viewers. See you next time.